So, a few months ago, I wrote a post about starting the Witcher series. I've never played it before, and it's been recommended to me so much that my friend actually bought it and gifted me the entire trilogy. Shout out to my friend. You know who you are. This means that I dedicated a lot of my time to play through these games, and that way making myself at least somewhat capable of making some good new content about them on this channel in the future. I didn't know how to approach this at first, but instead of just making a montage of clips or a montage of romance cards I got throughout the game, and believe me, I tried to get them all, I decided to make a 3-part review. Part 1, the first Witcher. Part 2, the second Witcher. And Part 3, you guessed it, in-depth ranking of all romance scenes in The Witcher. The third Witcher. Do my opinions and reviews of these games really matter? Probably not. Everyone has the right to their own opinion regardless of what I say, and that's the way it should be. So remember, it's just my opinion. But I thought it might be fun to do a review, so let's get to it. Even though I usually play older games, and my all-time favorites are games that are more than a decade old, I was still a bit hesitant to start the 2007 Witcher. Probably because it had no childhood nostalgia for me and I didn't grow up with it. And my review of it is... it was good. Geralt doesn't remember anything from his past, but still decides to be hired to kill monsters for money. He also doesn't like the Salamandra because they were mean to him and thus wants to hunt them all down.
Tell me what you know about Salamandra.
Will you help destroy Salamandra?
The witch Triss shows up and helps with stuff.
Geralt.
While our two buddies Dandelion and the Dwarf appear conveniently from time to time to give us random pieces of dialogue.
It's the one I got from Teruviel in the Valley of Flowers, remember?
I remember that.
Great, so you know why I want that loot back.
The whole game is pretty much situated around the city of Vizima, where we can choose to help certain factions, like the Order of the Flaming Rose,
We give our lives to the Order.
a human faction, or the Scoia'tael,
Go, Dwan.
elves, dwarves, and other weirdos. Or you can just stay neutral like a Witcher should, but in the end, you'll get punished for stuff regardless. Your options and decisions in these games matter, and the story and dialogues have slight changes depending on how you decide. This is something not many games I showcase on this channel have. Sure, you can decide to do certain stuff, but it really doesn't have that much of an impact on anything, and you end up with the same questlines every time. The Salamandra are a big part of this game, and you're trying to take down the Professor.
Professor. They're all staring at me. Professor.
And Azar Javed. Damn it, we're leading this group of meanies. I'm probably the last person in the multiverse that hasn't played this game, but I'll say this. Spoiler alert. In the end, the Salamandra really aren't the biggest meanies of the game. Sure, you get some endgame boss fights, but the real knucklehead of the story is this little kid.
Geralt? Teach me to sword fight?
Yep. He's actually the Grandmaster of the Order I mentioned earlier. And I'm glad I figured this out without reading the wiki. I usually suck at getting these subtle cues in games, and this connection specifically had a lot of hints.
So, did you recover everything?
Know what I found on the Grandmaster? A Dimeridium pendant.
The one you gave Alvin?
I don't know. It looks the same, but older. He must have worn it under his armor for years.
But it would still be possible for me to miss it. But I got it, and I had to share this with all of you.
Geralt.
The whole game is structured into chapters with a prologue and an epilogue, each with their own locations and sets of unique stories and quests. This was a change from the other games I usually play, since you have limited time to do quests in a certain chapter, and then you can go back and do the quests later whenever you feel like it.
I'm quite liquored.
This made me mad because I missed some romance cards and couldn't get them back without reloading an old save. I heard a lot of people hating on the combat system in this game, but I actually didn't have that much of a problem with it. Sure, it feels a bit dated, but I think it was pretty innovative for its time. At least it felt that way to me. The need to switch weapons depending on who you fight was fun, and the style of combat Geralt had to switch during fights felt unique. They certainly improved upon this in the next games though. The conversation system has its funny moments, and the dialogues can be really weird at times.
We are saved, at last.
No, I came on my own. You're free.
Thanks be to the lords.
You're free.
We wish to reward you.
I'm looking for...
I'm a high-ranking officer.
But I just wanted to.
What is it, Witcher?
Interested in anything besides politics?
Impertinent question, but I'll answer. I enjoy poker as a mental exercise.
I know that game.
Game? Fie! Keep to your sword, wine, and women, Witcher. You're clearly too dull-minded for poker.
Greetings. You're the Fisher King, right? Well, I have a professional interest in the area. You see, I'm a witcher. Any monsters in the lake? Thank you, Triss.
You know I can conjure up orgasms too.
I think I prefer traditional methods. Amphisbaenas? Dragonflies? Water creepers? No? I see. The lake's safe. While we're talking...
Want a beating, stranger? We fight for money.
Farewell. Could I use your boat? Take care.
You're huge and ugly.
Witcher.
Do you have something tasty for me?
I need more time, Your Highness.
Be swift. My patience is limited.
Having problems, Witcher?
Actually, yes.
Sadly, my code of conduct forbids me from using my position for private benefit.
So you refuse to help? Wait a minute. What code?
Not your business, Witcher.
What?
My teeth hurt. Where's my cat?
One thing I wasn't used to is that Geralt can't jump. He just walks, and when I want to jump, I pause the entire game. Come on! Damn it!
Witcher.
The super fun, and also annoying parts of the gameplay, are when you're drunk. This game mechanic is used to get information from important NPCs.
Sometimes I prefer to be a peasant.
Got up the courage to tell me about the loot?
I guess. My loot's at the home of a rich merchant. The house is on the west side of Salt Square, and I can't possibly leave. The crowd awaits.
All right. I'll fetch your loot.
Wonderful.
Was I supposed to bring you something?
Geralt, the crowd is getting rowdy.
I haven't found the loot yet.
And that's the beginning of the longest journey I've ever had to play through. It takes super long to get anywhere. We're doing it, Geralt. Let's go. The house is pretty close. It should take us like an hour. My soul has left me at this point.
Leave my daughter in peace.
I want my friend's loot.
That inflated singer seduced my daughter. Out!
I want nothing from your daughter.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, well, I don't believe me either.
Get out of my house, you blooming drifter!
Listen, good man.
Out! Or I'll kick you out!
I'd prefer a peaceful resolution.
Shove off.
I've heard enough insults.
I heard once that a witch's touch is, special.
Causes a slight tingling. Let me show you.
Another one.
Now we have to get all the way back.
Geralt.
Here's your loot.
It's fun when he's drunk, but at the same time, you're super slow and it takes ages to get from point A to point B. This takes me to my next point, which is travel and waiting time. This to me was really annoying since you have to find a flint, find a fireplace, then meditate to pass time, or just do random stuff since you have to wait for NPC schedules to line up to you. It's all logical, but at the same time it took super long to get past certain points. Dunno, maybe I'm spoiled. The perk system was pretty fun to manage, and it certainly felt important while slaying monsters and puss. I haven't played this as a kid, and I was hesitant to play it, but it certainly felt like a time machine of sorts to days where games were a lot simpler, in the design of characters, gameplay, and the story itself. I was surprised as to how little glitches and bugs I've seen while playing the game, but I really played casually and I wasn't trying to exploit stuff, so that may be the case as to why they didn't occur as much. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. The story was good, and I didn't mind the gameplay that much. It's definitely dated, and also I hate this old bitch.
What's she want? Say something!
I'm here to see Shani.
She's busy cleaning and doesn't have time for vagabonds.
I have an appointment.
Didn't your mother teach you better manners? She'd not forgive herself for raising such a monster.
But...
why is she invincible?
Old, grey, and still chasing skirts. You should be ashamed.
It's not like that, good woman.
No need for charm. The girl's busy.
Then could you please tell her?
Didn't your mother teach you? I don't recall inviting you.
I'm here to see Shawnee.
Get out! Old, grey.
Old, grey, and a pain in the ass. You should be ashamed.
Go! Just don't be surprised if she stabs you.
Oh my god, we did it.
I need your help with an autopsy.
That sword is for monsters.
So that's my review. Let me know in the comments if you agree with stuff, disagree with stuff, if you'll try this game out, or never want to touch it again. You know I read your comments, and I try to reply to them as much as I can. So you can also let me know if you like this type of content from time to time. I usually just do dumb stuff and exploit games, so this was a fun detour. Trying to make people smile or even laugh is always cool, dude.